I hope you will enjoy the trip, that it will thrill you a little and chill you a little. So settle back, get a good grip on your nerves, and be comfortable, if you can.
Could you tell me about your memories of skating with estrogen?
Oh, whoa, deep cut. Okay, like, wait, who is that? Nardwar that just like finds all the stuff, like just out the gate roller skating. Okay, um, yeah, I've only skated with estrogen like twice, but they're just like a superhuman. Like, I'm just like, how do you do that? Like, I have like an ice skating background, and even I'm like impressed by all the cool shit that they do. Um, yeah, just kind of like in awe. Like, how do you do that? How are you real?
Dude, I saw the fucking like roller skating and like skate parks and shit and filming like skate videos. I'm like, that's fucking rad, dude. Um,
It's so
I
cool.
But when I see people like that, it always just goes to that thing of like I love in like anime when you see a character that's like so powerful, they have like this crazy energy about them. That's how I feel meeting like people like that, you know?
Yeah,
Because they're just
totally.
like it's just like an aura thing. I guess on the subject that I forcefully brought up of anime, I see I've never watched it. Can you well, that's a perfect segue. I didn't even notice that till just now. Could you tell me a little bit about the importance of Sailor Moon?
Okay, I hope I can do it justice. Surface level, I think probably someone would see Sailor Moon and be like, yeah, whatever, it's magical girls, it's not that deep. But it was like, when I first watched it, I watched the English dub, and they kind of censored a lot of the coolness about it. So, like, as a kid, I was like, oh, yay, cute, whatever. And then when I rediscovered it in like my maybe like 13, 12 era of internet, unsupervised internet, um, I found the English sub, and I was like, they're girlfriends. And I was just like, that's allowed. Oh my God. Like, that was so cool. And then there's so many like queer characters, and like there's so many gender identities that are so cool. Like, um, it's funny, I found myself relating more to like the villain characters, and like they're just like, there's this one movie, Fiore, I think is their name, and they're like this like non-binary character that's in love with Tuxedo Mask, and there's like this love triangle thing, and like Sailor Moon and all that. But it's very queer and very I think it just stands to the times. Very, very impactful on like, you know anybody that is looking for that representation and doesn't have it. That was like the first time I saw like probably queer representation in like media like that.
How Moon like first kind of entered my mind as a thing to like think about more, and I always have so many tabs open of like shit I want to look into, but I'd never get around to all of it. So Sailor Moon's one of the ones I want to get to, but just haven't yet. Jen Bartel, the a comic book illustrator, her work is actually like lovely. You would like her a lot.
Mhm.
She said something to the effect once of like that Sailor Moon was the only thing she saw as a kid of like girls being friends. Does that
That
strike a
too.
chord?
Yes, and they always like, even when they have conflict, like Sailor Mars and Sailor Moon always fight, but they always like figure their shit out, and like they have kind of like it's like a, I don't know, their relationship is really cute, and they all are just like a team. Um Even when they're like fighting over a boy, it's like not even that deep.
One of the things I wanted to touch on was your styling, and I'll get, of course, obviously you have a
Cool.
very defined sense of your own style, but I mean, you've also worked with some other, I don't even want to say cool people because I'm not asking because they're cool people. I'm asking because like your styling on them was cool. But
Thank
I,
you.
I put up three examples. So like with Sizzy Rocket on Mommy, for example, like
Oh, that was so fun.
how do those conversations start? Like, is it like I have a look I want to go after, or do you bring something? How did that one begin?
Well, I can't take too much credit on that because Joseph Coltis hired me on that project and kind of already had a vision, and I was just like, okay, that's fucking awesome. Let's bring it to life. So like, but there's also like things of like working with like a photographer that has a vision, and then like an artist that wants to look how they want to look, right? So perfect example. Sissy's iconic look of keeping the hair down is like her comfort zone, right? And Joseph wanted to do the latex mask. And Sizzy was like, I don't want to hide my hair. I need my hair. So I cut a hole in the latex mask on the top and I gave her a ponytail. And she was like, okay, now we're good. And it's like, people don't talk about those kind of things on set where it's like, how do you make everyone happy? And that was kind of one of those situations where I was just like, I just want everyone to eat cake and be happy together and be happy with the product. So
That's some
but
like
yeah,
Hideo Kojima shit though, like cutting a hole in a latex mask for a ponytail. Like that's awesome.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, and then she got to, live her fantasy and be like whipping it around and stuff. So it definitely helped. But yeah, we had a lot of mood boards as those tend to lead up to. And one of the really cool thing about that album cover is that we did all practical effects. So it was like on Mylar, and Joseph was shooting her reflection on the Mylar, so not actually her. So that was really fun. Really cool project.
Well, that's rad. And well, okay. The other one I'll ask about. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the name right, but Whitney Tay.
Yeah.
Could you just tell me a little bit how that came about? This is like kind of a nerd question, but that look was like so
Yeah.
crazy. I was like, I have to ask about that.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a classic like right place, right time. Also, that was a Joseph thing, that he hired me for that project. And it was really fun to be able to like kind of like bring her vision to life. I mean, Joseph turned his whole backyard into a swamp. like it was freezing water. Oh my God. And then like we just kind of riffed off each other. I was like, oh, Whitney, I have this cool idea. I've never done like a body applique of like rhinestones. Can we try that? And she was just, open-minded and down to clown. So she had like obviously like a mood board, and I kind of was just like, oh, well, what if we do this? What if we do this? And then brought it to set and had fun and fell in a pool of water and almost fell on Whitney. So that was awesome.
Do you remember what your third song out of 5 was on the 2017 Spotify Wrapped?
I
Because
wonder. 2017. Okay. It was probably Grimes or Gorillas. If
I'll
it was
tell you,
27. You know?
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
dying
yeah.
to know. Tell
Well,
me.
it was running up that hill, and I'm just curious, how did you feel later on when that song finally, in your
I
eyes,
was
probably
like,
got it. It's
about freaking time. Like, she's awesome and she finally got her flowers. Like, shout out to Stranger Things. And like, it's cool to see artists like get their resurgence. Like, like Metallica, not that they really needed a resurgence, but they got some love from that too. So, and yeah, like Kate Bush is so, I mean, she's mother, So that was really cool to see that. And I think that people need to be a little less gatekeepy and realize that like artists need money. And like when these things happen, it's a good thing, and not be like, oh, I discovered them first. Like no one fucking cares.
people always ask artists what their influences are, and I always kind of roll my eyes at that because it feels very lazy to me. But so I'm not going to ask that. What I have tried to do, and I apologize if you've been asked about this a million times, but I have tried to pick out, some artists that I just think have an influence on you just from the ether.
Cool.
And people have used grime, grunge, whatever to describe you before. Was Kurt Cobain a particular influence on you?
Oh, absolutely. Like I mean, growing up, I didn't really. I sound like so extra by saying this, so
You're
apologies. But
killing it.
I never really connected with like the things that my peers were listening to. I was always stealing my parents' tapes and CDs, and then I was like not in a line with like my generation. But In Utero is one of those albums that I was like, I like scratched to death from like 3 Walkmans. I would go through a Walkman like every 2 weeks, like. Oh, my parents hated it. But yeah, definitely Kurt is up there for sure. R.I.P.
Well, I guess a couple things on that. One is that funnily enough, I just showed a friend, I showed my friend Hans in Utah recently. He hadn't heard like the album front to back before, and he was like, "Oh, holy shit!" And then, so that
That's
was
a
awesome.
magical one. That's so
Yeah,
cool. I wish I could hear that for the first time again.
God, I have that with so many different albums, right? Like, well, I won't go on a whole ramble, but did Anthony Fantano ever go to Lake Hillier in Australia?
I have no idea. I don't know what he's doing. He's on some crazy shit right now. Have you seen those articles? I still have Facebook because I'm addicted to Marketplace, and every time I see him post a freaking article, I'm like, what is this, BuzzFeed? Like, what's going on, man? I get he's got to pay the rent, but damn. Just
You know,
review my music already, man. Come on.
yeah, at Fantano, seriously. You know what's
Yeah.
funny is like, I guess I don't want to talk too much shit, but
Let's
'cause
have fun. Who cares?
I don't know, it's not like I hate Fantano, but it's the same thing of like, I'll say two things. One, I think his second channel is getting like way worse. It's a
Oh
lot of
no,
just like,
I don't even know the second channel, so fill me in.
it's just like his news channel, and he's doing like the moist critical thing of just like,
Oh,
this situation is crazy, and it's just like really lazy of just like guys sitting in front of camera being like, yeah, that P Diddy verdict, it's pretty weird. It's like, man, that feels like not. I don't like that.
no
Um,
shit.
and it's also like when I hear Fantana talk about any album that I know like really well,
Mhm.
like Blue Rev, for example,
Yeah.
he just sounds like a fucking idiot, you know? Like he said something about like Belinda Says doesn't have a strong song at the center. And like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like this is the
Yeah.
dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah, I kind of checked out. He was a little harsh on Grimes, but you know what? Maybe he was valid for that in the end. Um, um, but I love his Death Grips interviews, and I love God, I played this Death Grips dating simulator recently, and he was a character in it, and it was awesome. And he was like the crazy fan, and he was like, Stefan is mine, you can't have him. And I beat him. I got Stefan. So haha, in Minecraft. But yeah, he's cool. I don't know. He's just, I think people get the fame and they have to keep feeding the machine. And
Yeah.
if that's how he's got to do it, whatever.
Yeah, fair enough. Well,
Yeah.
I guess you mentioned Death Grips. That's a funny thing. Actually, well, two things on this.
My
One,
favorite, probably my favorite band.
that same friend Hans, I played in utero for him, and then he played Money Store, which I'd literally never listened to Death Grips until like 2 weeks ago. And I was like, whoa. I honestly, I don't. People talked about it like it was some like crazy like I thought it was gonna suck because everyone talked about it like it was unlistenable or whatever. But it's like this is like actually very thoughtful music,
Yeah,
you know?
it's like addicting. I never understood. It's kind of like the 100 Gex thing where people are like, "Oh, you're not gonna get it at first," and I'm like, I fucking loved it the first time I heard it. Like, and
Hmm.
also like, I think people need to just be honest with themselves. Like, if you don't like it, just say you don't like it. Don't force yourself to like something. I don't know. I mean, the Zach Hill's drum just scratches my brain, and Stefan's fucking delivery is like, it's so good. It's awesome.
Well, I mean, between like Death Grips and fucking Health, Purity Ring, like all these
Yeah,
different
right.
things, like there are
Mhm.
a lot of things that you were like really early on liking, and it feels like the culture is kind of caught up with you. I mean, how does it feel to be like an OG scene kid?
Uh, old. um, it's funny. Like I just it's kind of cool to see like everything becoming cool again. Like I was not only was I a scene kid, but I was a total weeb, and like now everyone's doing TikTok dances and stuff, and I was like getting bullied and death threats for that shit in high school. So that's cool that is like cool now. Um, I think it's just all positive. Like I'm not mad about it. I'm like, this is how it was supposed to be. And I do like telling my stories about the garden and growing up in Orange County and going to those shows before they were signed. And, I feel like kind of an elder queer punk in that sense sometimes. So it's all good and fun. And I'm glad that people are getting their flowers finally.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's so awesome to see. Like, I kind of just here's the thing. It used to be that thing that you talked about of like I found them first, but I feel like as we get hopefully like older and more mature as people, I feel like we have an ability to be like, no, that's like sick that they're like
Yeah.
catching on now. You know what I mean? Like I love that shit.
Totally. It's like those people don't know what it's like to be an artist and being like, I want people to see my shit. You know, like it's like when you as an artist when you see that, you're like, oh, and it's hopeful because it's like that person is doing something similar to what I'm doing. And it's like if they win, I win. So it's all good. I mean, yeah, peace and love.
Well, I guess on that, that always brings, what's the phrase I'm looking for? When you say something like that, that makes me think of, this isn't a forced transition. This is generally the way my mind went, of Matt from Machine Girl. And like Machine Girl is one of
Yes.
those things that like the fact that that music exists and people listen to it, I'm like, what the fuck? That's like, it makes me be like, so I guess I can just do whatever the fuck I want.
No, literally. Yeah, oh my God. I love Machine Girl. It feels like just like a year or two ago they were playing like tiny venues in LA and now they're just like crazy. It's
Yeah,
really
and
cool.
I mean, to be fair, I'm talking shit earlier. I did get into Machine Girl because Fantana reviewed MG Ultra, and I was like, that actually sounds kind of sick. But,
That's
um,
awesome.
you're one of when I'm trying to look for people to interview. One of the things I do is I see who they're following, and I see like where the overlap is, or like if they are into super interesting things. And I think the only person I've found who follows what I would consider like my triforce of millennial bands, uh,
Hell
Machine
yeah.
Girl, Always, and Sloppy Jane. Um, I'm just wondering if you could
Awesome.
just this is I'm doing a terrible job as an interviewer here because I'm not setting up
No,
any
no.
question, but I'm just wondering if you could like tell me about those bands because you're the only person I met who listens to all of them.
Well, I'll be real. I haven't listened much to Always and Sloppy Jane, but I like know a couple songs. And on Sloppy Jane, it's kind of like you know, if you're in the music scene in LA, you've been to a Sloppy Jane show probably. So, I mean, I think they're great. Machine Girl, I'm definitely more familiar with their discography, but yeah, it's so funny. They're all like so different and similar at the same time. That's a really cool like big three.
Did you see I Saw the TV Glow?
Yes. Yes, I
Yeah,
did.
I found Sloppy Jane through that because I was watching the
Yeah.
movie and it was like, holy shit, that's like the most beautiful, like not even just like person. I'm not saying she like looks hot, but like that styling and like performance was like the craziest, coolest shit I've ever seen. And I was like,
Oh,
oh, cool, that's like icon, absolute fucking yeah.
yeah.
Anyways, um, well, I guess circling back to styling a little bit, how does it when you're going on like your own tours or shows or for music videos or whatever, like how do you determine what kind of outfit you're looking for? Like, where does that process start?
So the main theme is always like feminine nightmare. Like imagine being like 5 and your mom puts you in like the most like freely like terrifying thing ever and you're like I don't want to fucking wear this. That's kind of like the vibe that I go for. So it's kind of like as a kid I actually like hated the color pink. Like I was very like tomboyish and I just kind of realized that like I like feminine things, but it's like not that deep. And kind of just like exploring that like gender identity thing of like, oh, like girl wear pink or like boy wear blue. And it's like, no, just like wear whatever want. So I really like anime inspired things. I have this like pink PVC maid outfit that I like rip off. That's really fun, and then I reveal like just like another outfit. But yeah, I'm just like having fun with it, honestly. Just trying to like tell my story and make people feel kind of seen by that as well.
That's rad. Like stage attire is always one of the things that I love, and there are some like I love just how what's the word like uncompromising you are in your vision of it. I think that's rad, and it's like it's certainly a different thing than yeah, I don't know. Machine Girl is one that comes to mind. Like obviously your vibes are not the same in terms of like look, but I just think it's sick when someone just like follows their mind like all the way like out that far. I think it's awesome.
Thank you.
But yeah. Um I'm wondering if you can, I guess it's like, yeah, I don't know why I do that, but uh Yeah, hey,
I felt good.
live your truth.
Live your
Um,
truth. Life's too short, and it would. I mean, everybody's doing the Sabrina Carpenter thing. Like, I want to just be weird and have fun, and I want to. I've finally gotten out of that like mentality of I had management that were like this one isn't a hit, like I don't know about this one, like, and I like scrapped so many songs because I listened to what people thought was like right. And now, like, my album that's going to come out, I think next year or maybe earlier, is like music that I would fucking listen to, and it's like more like happy hardcore and like all the weird shit that I listen to that isn't necessarily commercially successful or popular, but I don't give a shit. So I think it's important for artists to like, kind of have that mental talk with yourself of like, why do you do this? And what at the end of the day is gonna make you happy with it? Like, are you gonna be on a tour and miserable because you're playing songs that you don't give a shit about? Um, so that's kind of my perspective of like, why do it if I'm not gonna do it the way that's authentic to myself and other people, and yeah, et cetera, et cetera.
that brings to mind a few things for me. One is like I certainly relate to that with my own like um I can email over my last couple zines if you want to check them out. But like the last one in particular is one of those things of like this touches on so many things you mentioned, like the when people talk, you didn't use these words, but when people talk about artists like selling out or whatever, like, oh, your song's in Stranger Things, it's like,
Yeah,
dude,
no, that's
why don't
cool.
why don't
Like,
you like work on something for years and then not get any success with it and then fucking come tell me not to, that's the thing that
literally.
drives me crazy.
Yeah,
But
you nailed it.
that was like so my last zine I really worked for like a year on, and then like I was at the Spokane Zine Fest with it, and like all these people would come up and just like and then like have the dumbest fucking questions about it. Like I remember this one dude who like, oh god, he's actually like a friend of a friend, so I probably shouldn't say this, but whatever. The dude came up and he was literally my zine's like, I don't know, it was something like, I can't remember, 50 pages, something to that effect. It was pretty long, maybe
Nice.
60. Yeah. Um and he just sat there for like 20 minutes, just like looking through it, not really saying anything to me. And then also kept saying like really dumb shit. At one point, he said like he was trying to convince like one of his underage coworkers to get into smoking. And he was trying to pay her like $1,000 to start smoking. And I was like, why do you
Wow.
want to do that? And he was like, corrupting the youth, man. Like, you're considered
Side quest.
you're just like an asshole. Like, have you ever thought about that one? But I didn't say that.
Uh,
But I was like, and anyways, and then like there's one picture in the, oh, I'm rambling on here, but there's one picture in the zine where it was literally I guess I'm like naked. There's no like nudity or whatever, but like I'm covered in fake blood or whatever, like coming out of my mouth. Um
cool.
yeah, and then he looked at it and he's like, "Oh, is this a self-portrait?" I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, please shut the fuck up. That's so dumb.
Creepy.
'Cause it's like, yeah, man, yeah, I didn't want to ask anyone else to do that, so I just did it myself. But just shit like that, it's like it's
Yeah.
sorry, I'm rambling on, but like that's why Phoebe's second album was called Punisher, because like she
Hmm.
was talking about how like fans that like fucking suck and are like annoying to talk to. That's how
Yeah.
I feel, you know. Um, what do you remember at meeting Kylo Ren at Disneyland?
Okay, I'm wondering like if that photo is like on Facebook or Instagram.
Well, you're Plasmic. We have to know.
Okay, that's like the best thing. I feel like, okay, this is so funny because like when I did the HTML Jones interview, she was like finding the most like embarrassing things about me, and then this is just like the most wholesome shit you could find. Like me meeting Kylo Ren at Disneyland is so cute. Oh my god. I you know, um I think I was wearing a pink and white polka dot dress.
That doesn't sound like you. I don't think so.
Me? Who would have thought?
I don't know
Um,
about that one. Yeah.
I I remember I think he was like trying to say it was so loud and like his voice was really muffled, and I think he was saying something to me, and he was like, can you hear me? Like he was like trying to talk to me, and I was like, I don't know what you're saying, bro.
So do you just like take that as an excuse? Like, I guess I'll get closer to you, Kyla.
Yeah, I was just like, yeah, boyfriend, yeah.
But do you two still keep up, or how are things going there? No, I'm kidding.
We're kind of no contact right now, TBH. But
That's fucked. Yeah.
Who knows? Like maybe we'll see each other at a show and just be like, "Sup, man."
You know what? No, that's fine. I'll skip that story because I have like questions I want to get to. Okay. Can you tell? Do you? How did Napoleon Dynamite enter your life?
Oh, I mean, it came on MTV for the first time when I was a kid, and I was just like, "Oh yeah, this is awesome. This is, yeah." And it's so funny you mentioned that because this year I actually visited my friend Eliotto in Canada, and that's like his favorite movie, and we we got high and watched it like it was like squiggly. It was like someone uploaded the full movie to YouTube and it was squiggly and sped up. And we were like, whoa, this is a whole new perspective.
Dude, my mind's working so fast right now. Holy shit.
It was awesome. I was like, oh my God, this is like how they speed up. This is like Nightcore for movies. This is great. It was so funny. But yeah, that's an incredible movie. Timeless. I could watch it a million times and still want to watch it again.
You know, I don't know if you got a chance to watch the full interview with Mitch. I imagine not because it's like 2 hours long. But ended up watching Napoleon Dynamite for that interview because he loves it so much, and I was like, holy shit, this movie holds up. This is actually like really fucking funny.
Yeah.
Well, actually, like I hadn't written this down, but was that like a fashion inspiration to you at all? Because I feel like those things, there's a lot of carryover.
I feel like for a lot of people it was. I mean, like it brought back, like the high-waisted pants, the kind of like the nerdiness being cool, like I had like a lot of friends that loved that movie that would dress like Napoleon Dynamite, but they were cool people, and I was like, oh, okay, this is like cool now. But like, yeah, I mean, super influential. I mean, just the costume design on that movie is so good. Oh my God.
I mean, I guess when I think about, oh gosh, I can't remember the character's name, but the lady who sells the bracelets or whatever.
Yes.
Like when I think about her, for
amazing.
example, and her like completely side pulled like ponytail, that does feel
Puffy
very like
sleeves.
It feels very plasmic coated, honestly.
Her prom outfit was very, very plasmic coated for sure. Yeah. I would wear that outfit.
Plasmic. Do you have any advice for someone who wants to be a computer?
You got to find the nearest lobotomy in your area. You could do ketamine therapy first and then do the lobotomy if you really want to like treat yourself and like just set yourself up for success. And then Elon Musk comes in the room and he like just like decapitates you and plugs you into a modem, and then you're just like watching Moist Critical for the rest of your life and nothing is real. I don't know.
No, I love it.
If you want to be the whole reason I wrote I want to be a computer is it's kind of like, I didn't ask to be born. I didn't ask for this. I don't want to be all these things. I just want to like be no thoughts, head empty. But I wrote that a while ago, and the truth is you really do control the narrative, and you can be whatever you want. If you want to be a computer, you can be a fucking computer. You don't have to be anything that anyone wants you to be. I think that people are depressed because there's not maybe something in their life that's like fulfilling them, and you just gotta like find that thing. And I don't know if it gets better, but it gets easier, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Is it true that you went roller skating in Chinatown playing the guitar?
Yes, I did. That was really fun. Um, that was really cool. Wow, where did you find that? Was that
Well,
on Instagram?
you're Plasmic. We have to know.
I have
You
to
know what's
know.
funny is like I need to find my own like version of that because it's so helpful to be able to like make people laugh and forget about where did you find that? That's such a good
We're
skill Nard has.
we're Bongo. We have to know. Like that would be
Yeah,
great.
I fucking love Nardwar, dude.
Yeah, I did roller skate in Chinatown with my homie Scott Free. It was his idea to like do a photo shoot and stuff, and we just had lots of fun. Nobody got mad at me. It was chill. I was jumping over shit. No one said anything. It was fun.
Are you familiar with the Voyager Golden Record?
So what was on this golden record for the aliens to listen to?
Well, it was a bunch of different things. There was Bach and Mozart, and then they had like Johnny Be Good and like Blind Willie Johnson, like old like Louis Armstrong, and then they had like Indian music and a ton of different shit. Um,
Wow.
it was really fucking cool. Well, okay, I don't go to the thing. But you know, let's just say you were in the room. What is the song that you would have been like, no, this has to be on here?
I'm torn between Hamster Dance and Crazy Frog. Those are my two. I don't know if I could choose.
You know what? That's fair. Hey, you're Plasmic. You can go in the room and be like, no, Mozart, get out.
Yeah, get
We
out of
gotta.
here, man. Were you on Jamster? Nah, I don't think so. I mean, actually, probably there was a Bach ringtone, probably, but you know.
Okay. What kind of art do you think the world needs more of right now?
I think, well, I don't know. I feel like I've always poked fun at my issues. Like, I'm kind of like a dark comedy person when I'm trying to, like, I just want to die. Like, I feel like that's like a constant theme of like all my music, but it's like, um, I think, positivity and just like catharsis of like people need to know that they're not like alone and that like it's it's gonna be okay and it's the world is fucked right now, like so incredibly fucked that I think we need everyone needs to laugh, I think, honestly, but not be distracted by it. I don't know. That's a tough one. But I think just art. We need art, so much of it. Like all of it. We need all of it right now, truthfully.